Okay, apparently we're recording a podcast. This is American Groove with our host, Dave, and your other host, me, Carissa. Today we're going to talk about Friends, that TV show that you love. I bet that we're not allowed to do like a podcast just about a TV show that we love. I don't really know. Anyways, David is like laughing so hard that he's in tears because this is an impromptu episode. So I don't know. Are you recording the visual as well? Because can people see you? Because you are just like, hey, I think he took the visual away now. He was just like crying, like his face, and he's like putting his t-shirt up, just like getting the tears. Anyways, David, are you going to say anything on this episode? This is a first time for me. I've never tried to open a podcast episode, but I think I'm doing okay. David, we're going to talk about Friends.
What?
We're going to talk about Friends
Yes.
while I eat my hummus and pretzels.
I have. Sorry. Hold
Well,
on.
because I'm like super high. And so like I have the munchies like really, really bad. Usually I don't eat on the podcast, okay? But like
No, I
this is
get it.
like it's a freestyle podcast.
Mm.
I'll put it
Oh,
away.
no, you're fine.
I'll put my food away.
No, I mean like I don't know, like Friends. No, like I think like one thing I always remember about Friends, because like I see this all the time in like little like emoji characters or like a GIF or a GIF, whatever you want to call it. Um, of when Joey got his head stuck in a turkey. You remember that episode? I think it was.
Oh yeah, because it's like Thanksgiving time.
Yeah.
I think like there were a lot of people wearing the turkey. Like that turkey went on a few different people's heads, but it's kind of a scary thought. But it was definitely like a wonderful episode. I love their Thanksgiving episodes.
They put
Is
on
it
the
Thanksgiving
sunglasses.
episode the one where Brad Pitt shows up?
I don't remember. There were
I
so
don't know.
many.
I'm not like a super crazy, like I know all the facts kind of thing, but I've watched the whole season. And I always used to relate to Monica
Which season?
just in general
Like just
until she
all.
married Chandler. Jesus Christ. You know. But I mean, I guess he's kind of cute, you know. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen Matthew Perry? Like the guy is. Uh, sorry.
Oh, that's so
Uh,
nice.
I mean, like my heart goes out to him. I mean, like he had a problem and he's he's got a family and he's been keeping clean and like getting his life together. But I'm not trying to like putrefy like any of them. I mean, like they all became fucking major celebrities overnight. It's like
I mean, they're really good actors, in my opinion.
really good actors.
Yeah. I mean,
You know,
that's
which
why they got the positions that they got, is because they're really good.
is my favorite,
Mm.
Joey. I love
Yeah.
Joey.
Joey is wonderful. I think it's like season 4 is kind of like the episode where like Joey and Chandler like buddy up and they're just like, like the two best friends that like live together. I think that's when they get the chick and the duck and like, they like have like a fucking canoe like in there.
The
There's just
living
like
room.
shit the living room just like, they get the recliner chairs like it's just hilarious. Like I remember the escape of watching Friends. It's so funny. And I love that the episodes are short because it's like not too much of a commitment. But it really, really cheers me up. like when I'm down. And I never used to like it when I was younger, but then once I became like around like their age, I found it much more relatable and entertaining and kind of nice to like watch people in a different city. Like I never grew up in New York, and I don't know New York, so I like to watch things that take place there because I live
Um,
in LA.
so I would say Friends compared to New York could closely resemble New York compared to San Francisco. Um, it's just night and day. I mean, they're it's not realistic by any standards. First off, I grew up, on the other side of the Hudson, so I grew up in a house. Um, but I lived in the city for a few years. It's tiny, okay. Unless you got money, you get big spot. You got no money, you get little tiny. And they had massive apartments. These are big apartments, and I don't know. It just. But I don't think that's the point of
Well,
Friends.
yeah, yeah,
I don't think it.
yeah.
I don't think it matters. Like I think if you took Friends and you put them in San Diego, or you put them in Los Angeles, we changed it to Chicago. I don't think it would give like matter. I think what mattered was, like we said before, is the 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 dynamic,
With
the
Joey.
yeah. I'm doing the thing with the
I think that
hands.
what I want to say is what I want to say is that like if you can look past the ridiculous amount of privilege and like how they all just like somehow had great paying jobs and had great homes and like they all just like shit just worked out for them wonderfully. Like I could definitely be like kind of like jealous of them in a weird kind of like way, but if I look past all of that, it's really enjoyable to watch Friends. And I think that that's a good exercise for me too, is to like look at what life is like for these other people. And I tell you, some of that shit is hilarious. Like I've had some of the best laughs. It is really, really entertaining,
Yeah,
Friends.
I mean, if you take characters like Joey and Chandler, Chandler is always bailing Joey out. Like Chandler is Joey's big brother, and as much as like they have shit and beef and like they kind of fuck with each other, they like the characters that they're playing. They really care about each other. Like they lived together for so many years. Like they got each other's back. Like even though it's a sitcom, and even though it's not realistic by any means, I think that it kind of teaches you a dynamic like Friends can never exist in reality. You can never have a group of five. Is it five? No, it's three girls,
And three
three
guys.
boys, six. Yeah.
I
So
know it feels like five somehow. It's quite strange. And then sometimes it feels like there's even more than that. It's odd.
it's
I
because of
always
Monica.
wondered.
It's because of Monica and Ross, because they're brothers and sisters. It always. I don't know. I think it's because they're brother and sister. That's why.
Yeah. I love it. Like I wish that I could like say it correctly, but like when people write, they kind of like try and like fit they want these like four archetypes of people like in their writings. And I don't know, I wish that I knew which person each person represents in Friends, but I know that like you have like the romantic, the comedian, the passionate one,
Oh, I can. Oh, I can do
and the
this.
businessy nerdy one. Like it's like you kind of like fit these like and it's
So
it's like the best way to write a story. So I think that's part of the reason why Friends works. It's also like the Ninja Turtles.
yeah. So like if you take if you take the characters of Friends, we'll break them down by girls, and then we'll do the boys. Easy. First one is Phoebe. Phoebe is kind of an atypical hippie. uh, open-minded, kind of naive, but clever. Um, she has a weird streak, but she has this love, like the love that she has towards like her friends and people she cares about is kind of special. Um, Next one is going to be Monica. Monica's a bitch, okay?
Oh,
But
I feel
she
like Monica's really cool because she's like, I'm gonna speak up
no
for
no no
Monica.
yeah
She's really assertive,
no no
and
no.
I like that.
But what I'm trying to say is she's a bitch, but she does it because she like she cares. She wants everybody to have a good time. Like she's the kind of person like she wants to be in charge because like she knows that she can handle it. She's very strong character. Like she's a very like tough, strong character.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Come on, it's bitch in a good way. You know, you gotta add
Well,
in the
she
little
is. She's kind of like a bossy, like, is she the big sis?
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's like that feeling that I get. Like she'll kind of like she I think she'll boss around Ross. I can't think of any moments like
He
specifically.
does.
I think that she is kind of just like, like she kind of treats him like, come on.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know
they
how to
pick
explain that.
fights. She'll make bets with him. I mean, like
She likes to outdo him.
I would want to
Is it,
outdo Ross. Like, just rub it in his fucking face. Because, like, anybody that's like watched some Friends, you know, there's like Ross can rub shit in your face, and you're like, okay. Most famous thing in Friends is pivot. You know, we're like,
on the stairs.
yeah, and then basically he's like pivot, pivot, like over and over again.
He
And
won't
Chandler
pivot.
was like, shut up, shut up, shut up.
I feel like Monica's really competitive,
Yes. Oh, come on.
but
There's so many episodes
so we're
to
still going
count.
down the list. Like, okay, and then there's
Oh,
like
oh, I'm sorry.
Ross.
Okay, so we'll get into Ross in a minute. I forgot Rachel.
Oh,
Rachel
okay.
Rachel's a girl that grew up rich, the spoiled little brat, where
Yeah.
she had to like figure out life on her own. So she's very, she exploratory, like she likes to explore, learn, advance. She's very like passionate and she wants to accomplish. But at the same time, she can be very sadistic, complex, and
I feel
very
like she doesn't,
judgmental.
yeah, she doesn't get embarrassed very easy. I don't know if that's like, I don't know if I'm totally true about that, but I feel like she's kind of like strangely fearless or like is just like will go for it. And
Depends. Depends.
yeah, I don't know.
It depends. I
She,
mean, like the earlier episodes probably not. It's usually kind of later on. She kind of creates like the thing about Rachel is her biggest problem is she's very judgmental. Um, but she's a kind of like person that like she's had to like figure out her life and getting her shit together. Um, and she's a very strong character. Like the thing about Friends is they're all strong characters, but they're all unique strengths which feed on the other. Like Phoebe and Joey, Chandler and Ross, Ross and Monica, Rachel and Ross,
yeah, all the
Monica.
relationships.
When you see the little groups, like when it's the girls only or the boys only, or two, you see how each strength attaches. Like I can see whoever wrote Friends, these were writers that collaborated and they were able to create this. And then when they gave it over to the actors that actually played these characters, they were able to take those strengths and then connect them because they're actors and that's what actors do. They're able to create those strengths that connect with the other. That's how they were able to make 6 actors. Again, like it's hard to imagine 6 actors playing 6 different characters in one setting that's in front of a live audience. It's a lot to ask for all of these people, and they did it flawlessly
All the time.
all the time. Like as
Yeah, they
if,
perfected it.
yeah,
It's incredible. Well, it was what was expected, you know? And it got better and better and better. But I think it was a lot to expect.
yes,
I don't know. I feel like I didn't appreciate it as much, when it was out and when it was new. But I do appreciate what it was like for my family when it would come on TV. It was like, oh, okay, like we'll watch Friends, like everybody would kind of get quiet and watch Friends. And it was like a more kind of like upbeat, situation in the house, like when Friends would come on. So I appreciate it. I never really understood a lot of what they were talking about, when I was a kid and it was on and it was like live. Um, I feel like they used to have Friends like for free, like on Netflix, and that's like when I marathoned all of it. Did they bring it back?
still on H.
Whoa.
It's still on HBO.
If you got HBO.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, HBO is how I watched all of Sex and the City. Like I like marathon
Yeah,
that whole bitch.
yeah, and I also was able to watch the new series of the Game of Thrones, which is the House of Targaryen, which is fucking amazing. Way better than the Lord of the Rings.
I love
Um,
TVing.
yeah.
Okay, so who else? We
Okay, so we finished with the girls, and we went on this whole long tangent, and I need to get more high. I'm sorry.
I want
Um,
to get high too, but I already smoked all my joints. I smoked them
so,
all. Help
my
me.
favorite character is Joey. Joey.
Uh,
All right, so we'll start with pros. Joey is confident. Okay, he's charming. He's a great cook. Okay, he's compassionate, and he's very loving. Cons. Joey's Joey's kind of, let's just say he's not the brightest. He's not the brightest by any means. Um, he can be a little bit bewildering at times. Um, he says he understands, but do you really understand, Joey? Do you?
I feel like they could have like given him even more depth as a character. Like they could have like kept going. It was really really funny to like and nice to see Joey like make a lot of money and like become like really successful and like remember he like bought the strange statue and then they came and like took all of his stuff away and he like didn't want to get rid of the weird statue. I don't remember the whole thing that
He
happened
gave it to
there.
Chandler, and they kept it until the very end.
It was so strange. It was like a white dog, like
Yeah,
sculpture. Yeah, we all know. We
it.
all know.
I think there was a story behind it where I think it was a prop or something that was made, and they were going to throw it out, and they saved it for friends, and it just became like a part of. It just became. But anyway,
Well, oh,
we want our listeners. We want our listeners, even though they're high and stoned, just like us, and drinking their wine on their favorite couches. Uh,
I don't even own a couch.
I don't own a couch either. I do, but that's a story for another time. Next character is Chandler. Chandler. Uh, Chandler is
A smart ass.
okay. We're gonna start with pros. Okay, we're gonna do equals. Equal. Uh, Pro. He can be quite clever. He's very
Yeah.
strategic.
Strategic.
Um, he's great with money. Like he knows money. Like he works. Uh,
He can apparently please Monica in bed. which is a pro.
Okay. Next.
I mean, that's got to be kind of hard, don't you think?
Yeah. Especially what's going on down those streets. Oh no.
I don't know. I feel like Monica is like the bossy type.
It's probably on the top.
Or do you think that because Monica is so bossy, she likes to be submissive in bed?
I like how we're talking about this sitcom that had no scene of penis going into vagina, and we're now making this R-rated, which I love. I
I
fucking
wanted
love
to.
this.
I wanted to go there,
Yeah,
you
let's make
know?
this rated R. All right,
Well, I
girls.
don't know. I mean, I was gonna mention it,
Yeah,
like
boys,
he
daddies. Yeah, go on.
he was able to please Monica,
Mommies,
which is kind of a lot.
daddies,
Okay,
mommies.
so that's pros about Chandler, you
Yeah,
know.
cons. Um, he's sarcastic because of his dark depression. And his self hate. um, he can be
Is he
sadistic.
is he the Eeyore?
Yeah,
Like Winnie and the Pooh?
or
I don't know. Is he the Eeyore? I mean, they don't match completely, but you know. Yeah, he is kind of like, oh, poor me sometimes.
fortunately, but he has a great character. Mm, and throughout the series, like they all care about each other tremendously. And with all the shit that goes on, like they have each other's back. And one thing I've always loved about Friends, even though it's a sitcom, it's an edible sitcom. It's not only edible, but it's fucking delicious.
Edible. You mean like you can deal with like chewing it up and swallowing it?
Mm,
It's digestible.
it's digestible, yeah, more of a
I
dietary term.
don't even know. I feel like I could keep playing with that. Like you could
Oh,
take a
honey,
bite
you
out of
you
it.
you do as you must.
I don't know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, Friends podcast. I I feel like
You want to end here?
they had the most amazing hairstylists like working on their hair on Jennifer Aniston's hair. Jennifer Aniston's hairstylist and Courtney Cox hairstylists were like the best hairstylists. They just out of this world. They would just keep getting the very best people and like
Everybody
I
had the
mean,
Rachel. Everybody had the Rachel.
oh
Like,
my God, Rachel's hair was so expensive. It's just like crazy.
you mean to get it done like that?
Yeah, like her hairstylists, like they would like cut it just like perfect, probably like all the time. And it would get colored by like the most talented people. We're saying like back then, you pay like $6,000 to have somebody like be doing your hair. I mean, I don't really know that, but like that's what it seems like to me.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. I mean, if you think about the Elton John extravagant, like I remember once reading where I think Elton John spent over $25,000 of some sort just on clothing for a performance.
I
20.
mean, yeah,
So,
it's part of the image. Like it's
yeah.
yeah, you are your art. Like you're the performer. I wonder, and we said that about I feel like yeah, it's her head, it's her hair. I mean, good God, Courtney Cox. Like I had my gaydar my about myself just going off like crazy. Like I was like, oh God.
I
Like I don't know
love
what it
that.
is.
I
She's
love
just
that.
beautiful. She's like Snow White or something. Like I'm like, just stare at this woman. She walks around,
You
acts
know,
bossy.
it's kind of crazy because I do picture myself like my gaydar goes all fucking bonkers for Joey like in the first two seasons.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I could see like having a thing for Joey. I kind of
I
feel
would have.
like,
I mean,
yeah,
that would have been amazing sex. Oh
yeah. I feel like
my
he's so
god.
like, there's something very understanding about him.
I mean, if I
Like he's
was, ooh,
kind of comforting.
we forgot about Ross, didn't we?
Yeah, it's easy to forget about Ross. One of my favorites is like, I believe that when Ross and Rachel like go on one of their first dates, he like takes her to the observatory, or I don't really know what it
And
is,
gives
but
her a
it's like
juice box.
in the juice box, like, like squirts.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's okay. And he's like, it's a juice box. I don't remember exactly what happens, but I
Well, what
remember it being very
happens?
sexual.
Okay, okay. This is important. This is important because then the next episode is where they're found in the observatory, like in one of the displays with cavemen, and they wake up like, "Hey, sweetie," and then they turn, and there's a group of young children
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that are looking in, and they're like, you could tell, like they're just wearing a cloth and they're completely naked. This is so
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. Yeah, they're like, maybe we shouldn't do this. There's
I like this because I remember episodes doing this.
there's a friend's eyeshadow palette that's out right now that I thought was really cool if we're going to be talking about beauty things, because I mean, I'm a beauty person. But like there's a friend's eyeshadow palette that they put out, and it was like only like 19.99, and they like have it at like everywhere, like Target and stuff. But it was so cute. It has like all these like muted, like kind of like nudish colors. I don't know. Would you want a friend's eyeshadow palette, David?
I don't wear eyeshadow.
You never wear eyeshadow?
No, I have natural under eye dark.
That's different.
Yeah,
You don't
this is
ever
my
wear
natural eyeshadow.
when you dress up? Do you ever wear eyeshadow?
It's been hard for me. I don't know, like this is completely going
Okay.
off topic, but it's
I was just curious. Do you ever
no.
wear eyeshadow? Never.
I
Or you
used
just don't want
to.
to tell us?
I
Would you?
I
Would you? So I won't be buying you the friend's eyeshadow palette. Is that?
you
Would you?
could. It's just like I'm I've been denying the feminine side of my life for a long time, and it's so hard because again, this is completely not friends, but I will try to tie this in some way or another. I don't know, like I feel like gender is important, and I mean this like even with the characters, but I think like if you take Friends, why are there three of three?
3 and 3. I don't know. I really like it. I like the 3 and 3.
It
And I
works.
mean, we were just talking about how like it's better than 5.
It works, and I'm like I've been thinking about it again. This is our personal opinion. I don't know. The creators of Friends, they are probably extremely talented people. Um, but from my perspective, I can see where how do you have opinions and situations? Hold on. Hold on.
Gosh, David.
What, honey? I'm drinking. You know what? We want all of our listeners to hear me drink. What was I saying?
I'm
Give me
teasing.
back. Give me back. What was I saying? Come on, honey.
I wonder if the listeners remember what you were saying.
Honey, they can't talk to us right now. You have to talk to me.
Hey, this is only the first time that this is happening this episode. The stoners always forget what the hell
Right.
they were talking about.
Right. This has never happened before on any of our episodes.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of strange because it happens a lot when people are talking where you're like, what the hell was I just talking about? I
Jesus.
know that we had recapped everybody and we had ended. I mean, we had been like,
Okay,
did we even take
Ross.
time for
Ross.
Ross? We talked about how
Ross.
there were like six characters
Okay.
and how
Oh,
we like
oh,
that there
oh.
were
Yeah,
six.
yeah.
I kind of remember.
That I remember. Okay,
I'm stoned, but I kind of remember.
six. Okay, so
uh,
six,
what?
six. So I'm gonna say one more time. Six.
I
Um,
told you when we were working at that haunted place, it was 66.6 degrees. It was
six,
last
six,
weekend.
six.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
fuck! I just pissed off a lot of Christians. I'm sorry. I said the three bad numbers.
I'm not upset.
I'm not upset either. Just numbers.
So six characters.
Yeah. So six characters. Why six? Here's my theory. If you want to have in situations diverse opinions and different perspectives,
Yeah, that's a good point.
if you have opposite sides, remember the way that this works is it's a gender class. You have the male and the female. But the way that they did it was to female and male that opposite one another in personality, not in gender. What does that matter? It matters because can you imagine Rachel as a boy or a man? You can't. It doesn't make any sense. As character, I'm not talking about the actor, I'm talking about as character.
I could imagine Monica as a man. It's my ex. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah, I could. No, I could. No, yeah.
No,
Okay,
no.
maybe some of the characters, not
I
all the
always used to
characters.
relate my I used to relate my other ex to Chandler because he was such a smart ass.
Who said Chandler's? Who said Chandler is smart? Yeah, I mean, he spent $2,000 to go to Yemen
He
because he
does some
couldn't.
dumb shit.
And
Because he couldn't what?
I remember the episode where Janice was like, I'll make sure to send you out a letter at one Yemen road. Yemen.
One Yemen Road. I don't even remember this one as well. You know which episode I fucking hate is
Which
the
one?
episode where Ross's girlfriend shaves her head.
Oh, that was weird.
They go on like a vacation together and they like rent like a place. They like go to some beach house or something and oh, I just hate those two episodes. Oh, it's just miserable to watch. I don't know. There were some moments between Ross and Rachel that were just so cringeworthy. Like it was like
I mean,
I
she
just couldn't
helped.
watch it anymore.
Rachel helped. She helped do that.
Yeah, it was like Rachel did that. And Ross was like, "Okay, so you made my girlfriend shave her head." And it was like the head looked so fake. Like you knew that there was hair under that fake bald cap, but it's like fine. I'm just critical.
Just a little critical, honey. Just a tad.
I
Not
don't
too
know. I
much.
just hated those two episodes. Like it was just miserable to like watch them like fight. I almost feel like they put Chandler and Monica together just so you could watch two people happy again because it was getting just terrible watching Ross and Rachel. And then later on they kind of you know what I mean? But I have no idea, but there's a theory, but I just like feel like later on they got along and they had the baby or whatever and like they became I mean they could be respectful to each other. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a while since I marathoned some friends.
They can, and the whole dynamic and the whole story is this. It's just a group of friends that are incredibly different from one another in character, in life, and they find this connection. I mean, for God's sakes, Phoebe, okay? Phoebe, she's weird. And I would fucking hang out with her and smoke so much pot. with Phoebe. Okay,
Oh,
so much pot.
Phoebe had
Eh,
like the hottest boyfriend ever. She got to date that one guy, the one from I Love
uh,
You Man.
what's his name? Runt.
Oh,
Something.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
So
Yes,
Phoebe was in a relationship with Paul Rudd. Like Paul Rudd loved Phoebe at one point,
he's
and to
still attractive. This is
I
great.
know, and he was so cute back then. He had like these like corduroys, and then his hair would like do the little flip thing, and he could get like really soft and like quiet. You know,
He just,
kind of cute.
it's just like, okay, there's a thing in Friends where they bring on these guests and they're so fucking hot.
Beautiful people
Oh my
like jumping
god.
on that. Like,
And then Danny DeVito. as
yeah. And
as a
Monica's
police officer
parents.
stripper.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. I remember that. He's a police officer stripper. I remember when that episode came up. That shit's great.
Do you know
He
that do
I
you do,
hardly remember it.
do you know that Courtney Cox uh she said that to work with Danny DeVito was like it was incredible. They were just so excited. And I mean, like, we love fucking Danny DeVito.
Oh, I know. We could talk about Danny DeVito for a
Fucking love
minute.
Danny
Like
DeVito.
there I mean, there's this one season of Always Sunny where they just like did the craziest. Like Danny DeVito was basically just like, I will do anything that you write. And they were like, anything? And he was like, yeah, anything. And so they just wrote like anything. And they got him to do it. And like, I mean, some of my favorite things in Always Sunny is well, they did this episode where they did everything from like his perspective. He's just funny as fuck. And then
It was weird.
he's just nasty. You
Yeah,
know,
he
he's so
is.
shamelessly nasty. I don't know.
But
I feel like that show like Friends attracted like the best of what was out there, like got
it,
to do a cameo on Friends.
yeah, it was like it was a way of like friends introducing us, you know, to these different, like a great example is, and like a lot of people forget this, there was an episode where Robin Williams was on Friends.
Wow, see? The best people are on there.
Yeah. It was hilarious. He was talking like this Greek person, and he was having a conversation about, the person right next to him sleeping his with his wife. It was hilarious.
Oh my God.
But like you don't remember it because it was like a small clip. And what happens is like they're talking, and all of a sudden, like Robin Williams starts just getting louder. So everybody just like silenced down. And like it looks like everybody's sitting there with their coffee and they're doing exactly this. Like they're just in awe. And it looked really creepy, and I'm sorry. So sorry.
I love the coffee shop. I just love the coffee shop.
Now they're becoming too expensive.
Ah, dude, we should just do a whole episode on just fucking coffee, dude. Cause like, damn. Like, I mean, people don't just like go chill in a coffee shop. This would never like happen, you know?
Now,
Sucks.
it can happen virtually though.
Uh we had like a really cool, like locally owned, like artsy coffee shop, like back home. It's still there. And I mean, it was kind of like that. Like you could have like somebody up there like playing a guitar and like shit like that. Like people need to keep that going. Like please, like
You mean like
have
Phoebe's smelly cat, it's not your fault. Smelly cat.
maybe that's why people don't try so hard to have live music, because a lot of it sucks. I'm just kidding. I love live
I
music.
I think like Phoebe. First of all, Phoebe was a terrible guitar player. We all know this, okay? I'm a
I don't
guitar
really
player, and
remember.
I can play way better than Phoebe. And if you want, I can prove it, okay? But the point is, I don't know, like it was shit, but it's kind of fun, you know. Like, all right,
Yeah,
it was like all right,
people, yeah, everybody was singing it.
you know. And then like she just had her crazy songs about like this person like after like grandma died or where the meat comes from, you know. Oh my god, this is hilarious. I remember
I
this.
know.
There's an episode where I'm sorry, there's an episode where she's talking about on how like cows are being slaughtered, and the cow gets slaughtered, do 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 do, and they grind it up into beef, do do do.
And everybody's like, okay.
And they're really creeped out, and they had like a conversation. They're like, "What?" you,
I feel like
you
Phoebe
laugh. You like this is so funny. I want to just watch this and laugh.
I feel like she's like a loner hippie, you know, like she's a hippie not surrounded by other hippies, which is like kind of unique. I feel like a lot of hippies
Yes,
will
it
like
is.
put themselves around like a bunch of other people, but she's
Yes.
just like this like loner independent hippie, which like I really like because it makes me think that like her beliefs come from like her, not just like some group mentality, you know, or something. So I like Phoebe. She's a massage therapist. I think that there's one episode where she bit a client. Do you remember this? She was like, he was so sexy, and I reached down and I just took a bite. I don't know. Do you remember this? Oh, people will be like, that never happened, Carissa.
They
I'll be like, I don't
never.
know. There's a lot of episodes.
What's going on in your mind, honey? Because I
She's
ain't
like,
knowing.
bit the client. I'm gonna Google it right now.
Pit.
People are like, no, that never happened.
Mm-mm.
I think she was like really, really attracted to the client. She was like, so I just bit him.
Damn. Damn. I mean, I do remember there was the episode. Jesus fucking Christ! This is what happens when you're really, 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 really high. Um, is you go into these little paradigms and little boxes, and going into like these little like realms of friends. And I remember this. She found a finger in a can, and they like gave her like she was trying to like get rid of some. If I'm not mistaken, like the bank gave her money, and she was trying to get rid of it. And every time she tried to get rid of it, she just kept on making money. She just kept
Oh
on
my
making
God.
money, and it like reached like $5,000 or some crazy number. And I just remember like in the episode, she was like, "Ugh, they gave me $5,000."
Yeah, no, I don't remember that episode at all.
She was like was so bummed that,
Mm.
and I was like, you know, you kind of think it's crazy, but like it kind of makes sense, you know, because she's like, you know, I'm just trying to give the money back. Like, I don't need you to give me more money. I'm trying to just give back the money that's not mine.
I do. I feel like there's something strange that happens when she's massaging a client. She like has a hard time maintaining professionalism. But I can't remember exactly what happens. But I mean, if we're just gonna go over Friends highlights, I have to say Marcel the monkey needs to be mentioned if we're doing a Friends episode. Also, that terrible time when Ross called his wife to be fiance on their actual wedding day, Rachel's name. That was insane. Um for anyone who hasn't seen the show, this is a terrible spoiler. Oh my God. I just have to say Ross is terrible. I don't like him at all. Like one bit. I'm not saying that I don't like, you know, like everything that he added to the show. He's not anyone that I would be friends with. He irritates me. Oh. Like he's got such a like, oh my god, I mean, I'm looking at like a clip right now and I can just see Phoebe's face like exactly the way that I feel, which is just like, Ross. Shut up. Oh my god.
Like I said this like earlier, like it is a very famous scene because like it's on a lot of stickers and shit. Pivot. Pivot was the episode in where he was okay. In short, this motherfucker buys a couch that's probably like $500. I don't give a fuck. And he won't ship it to his apartment. I think it was like $99 or something or whatever. Okay, it's crazy money. So he drags Monica and Chandler in dragging this couch up his stairs that are like tiny New York stairs. It ain't going up. And he just like keeps pushing and he's like, pivot, pivot, pivot. I've said this earlier. You're hearing this again. I apologize. And I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. And Chandler said, shut up, shut up, shut up. I'm really fucking this up, and I'm so sorry you had to hear this again.
I think you're amazing.
Thank you. Congratulations. Auf Wiedersehen. I don't know what that means. What does that mean in English?
Auf Wiedersehen. It's like you're done. Bye.
Oh, I'm not done. I'm high, but I'm not done. It's not bye, it's high.
I don't know how to say it.
Auf Wiedersehen?
I don't know.
Ooh.
Maybe I'm mixing it up with something else that you're thinking of. Okay, yeah, Phoebe totally bit one of her massage clients.
Get out.
I found it.
Get out of here.
Get out.
Get out.
She bit his ass.
Down, down, down. Get out. Down, down. Sorry. Mantra. Yes, I'm listening. I'm here. Focused. Let's do this, honey.
No, I think it's a good. I feel like this is a good Friends episode. We've been really like recapping our favorite things about Friends.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Like, cheer me up. Cheer me the fuck up.
So
I like Friends. I like smoking weed, watching Friends.
You wanna?
Oh, you're like, is it time to end the Friends episode? David's always like pretty excited to end the episode. Well, no. Have we talked about everything that we need to talk about Friends? How did they end Friends? What was the death of Friends? I don't even remember the final episode.
I don't want to sound like one of those, emotional wrecks, which I am, unfortunately.
I think I blocked it out.
Yeah. It was hard because the apartment was empty and they closed the door. It's not something that I like to remember, and I know it's just a television show, but it's just a clear message. It's over. The door is closed. Bye.
It was not just a television show. It was like a realm that they had created.
It's great to watch it when you're high. I'll say that. Really great. And like you get, like you're all of a sudden like, oh, I want to meet Boss Up. Okay, that's what happens. And it happened to me.
A meatball sub.
Sub. Yeah. Joey. Okay. He fucking loves those. I'm like, you're high. You're like mushy meat balls with this ooey gooey tomato sauce with mozzarella cheese on this definitely buttered hoagie that's been like grilled. Girl.
Oh my God. It sounds incredible.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, I think Friends ended because, I mean, this is what I heard
It's
is
10
that
years.
yeah, it was just a long, long time. But I think that, like, I think that I also heard that they wanted more, the actors wanted more money, and everybody started needing more money out of the money that was being made. And so they just kind of eventually, like, the actors are like, well, I'm not doing it unless you give me this much. And then they all kind of band together and they like quit. But I could be totally wrong, but I think that's what I heard.
I think it doesn't matter. I think that we were given enough.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. They want to do other
and
stuff.
and I think like Friends is a part of this generation. It's still remembered. You can still find it everywhere. Like it's just a part of all culture. And I think that's an important thing to say is that Friends did leave a mark. For how long, we don't know. But for, I feel, a long while.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, friends. I don't know. The other thing is like Friends has been something that you and I had connected on. I think that Friends is like, like you and I can both like laugh about it. And I think it's a show for friends. All right. I think that's a good episode.
All right, perfect.
Perf. Absolutely perfect. Well, I'm sure next week we're going to do another awesome ass episode. Perf.
Hopefully. Well, thank you everyone for being a part of this episode of American Groove. Be sure to find us everywhere on your favorite socials and your favorite place to chill with your pods using the handle Lost in the Groove Pod. See you later.
Peace.